Today's review comes from one of my favourite breweries, but 2023, I think I didn't have any beer from them. So I'm going to change that this year for 2024. It's Quantock, and this is a Broken Chains. It's a New England IPA, and it's going to be good, isn't it? Keep watching to find out if it is. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today, well, I've broken my New Year's resolution. I said on an earlier video, I can't remember which one it was, but I remember it, I'm sure the videos have been gone out, that for 2024, I was going to drink less New England IPA and try different styles. Well, it seems that, it's another New England IPA. But this is Quantock Brewery. They're based down in the southwest, down in Somerset. And they were in my top 10 2022. I really enjoyed all the beers I've had from Quantock. But last year I just didn't have any. I didn't find it. It wasn't as... Quantock Brewery, their beers... I don't usually buy beers directly from the brewery because I like to try lots of different ones. So I usually go to a bottle shop or an online bottle shop or an actual physical bottle shop. And a lot of them don't do Quantock. But I managed to pick this one up. Fairly recently. I can't remember, where did I even pick it up? Oh yeah, I picked it up from my local little bar that I use, a little bar called Bluestone. It's a small little craft beer bar, and it's really good. And I sometimes buy a couple of takeaway cans from there. And I noticed they had this one from Quantock, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to have to try it. So, New England IPA from Quantock. Hops, interesting selection. We've got Cashmere, Citra, Eldorado, and HBC 630, that sort of experimentally sort of hop. I never know which one's which, but at the moment it's just the experimental. Cashmere, not a massive fan. I don't really see what it brings. Certainly when it's on its own, I would avoid it. But the fact that it's got 4 hops in this, it makes me think, yep, it's in the part of the mix, so it should be good. It's Quantock. They make good beers. So let's crack it open and we'll get it into my other new glass. So you might have noticed that I had a Tetu glass of the same sort of thing. This is a Craft Diaries glass design. It's an IPA glass, perfect for a New England IPA. So let's crack it open and get it in this glass and see what it's all about. I mean, I'm expecting good things from it because it's been ages since I've had a Quantock. They're one of those sort of breweries that just goes right under the radar, really. They always make cracking beers. That's the thing. They just make really good beers, but they're just not as well distributed. Well, beer in a glass, I've poured it a bit rubbish, really, because I've got 4 fingers of pre-compacted, so I don't know how quickly that's going to go down. 4 fingers of just off Whitehead. So, let's get the aroma. Yeah, it's difficult through this froth, so I'm going to just slurp it up a bit. Yeah, it smells very fruity, but distinct fruits. Mango, pineapple. There's sort of orange and peach and apricot in there. Quite heavy with stone fruits. What were the hops again? Oh yeah, Cashmere, Citra, Eldorado, and the experimental one. Yeah, picking up grapefruit as well. It's a mixture of all kinds of fruits, really. It smells good. It smells inviting. Nothing distinctive is jumping out. So let's just drink it, shall we? Cheers, everyone. Flavour-wise, I like it. It's nice. But there's a lot of hops going on. And it's difficult to pick out and unpick the flavours. It is your old umbungo mixture of all kinds of tropical flavours. You got mango and pineapple in there, passion fruit a little bit. Then there's quite a lot of citrus as well. It's literally got everything in it. You've got quite a lot of lemons. There's quite a bit of grapefruit, both up front and in the back end. So soft mouthfeel you'd expect from Quantock. They do make good mouthfeel beers. It's very sort of Daya-esque, really, in terms of the mouthfeel. It's quite a light beer, but it's very, very soft. Let's go in again. Yeah, there's a little bit of dankness in there, but then there's a lot of other stuff going on to brighten up the beer, like, your citrus sort of notes. Grapefruit is sort of comes through in waves a little bit. A lot of times when you get grapefruit flavours, it's all on the back end a little bit, but you get a hit of it and then it sort of disappears and then it comes back again. And in the meantime, you're getting lemon, lime as well is coming through, melon. Oh, there's all kinds of flavours in there. I could reel off all kinds of flavours. I mean, you start getting into your guavas and your papayas and all that sort of stuff. But it's just a big hit of tropical flavours layered with citrus, lemon, lime and grapefruit. It sort of almost envelopes it a little bit. It comes in a little bit in waves. But up front, it's all about the sort of mango and the stone fruit flavours. It's very good. It's one of those sort of beers that's a nightmare for YouTubers to really unpack. But ultimately, it's a very good beer. There's lots of flavour in there. There's lots of juice. The mouth feels pretty good. There's lots going on. It's smooth. It's silky. There's not really any bitterness. There's a nice sharpness on the back end. Not really. I wouldn't say it's as dry as some beers can be. It's just very good. And I expect nothing less from Quantock. They make great beers. If I'd had 6 or so beers last year from Quantock, then highly likely they'd probably be in my top 10. I think they only weren't because I just didn't drink enough of them. But they make good beers, and if I see them, and certainly if I see like a New England IPA, which everyone knows is my favourite sort of style of beer, then I will definitely buy it. And this one, Broken Chains, is as good as they've done before. It's a long while since I've had one, but I know they've always been good. And I think, the smell feels good. There's lots of flavours. There's, 4 different hops. So there's lots of complexity in the beer. But sometimes there's a lot of all the same flavours coming through. It's difficult to pick them out. But that's not a bad thing. That's a bad thing for me trying to analyse it. But if you're just want to enjoy a good beer, then this is a good one. Quantock New England IPA, Broken Chains, Eldorado, Citra, Cashmere, and HBC 630. It's pretty good. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Broken Chains. This is from Quantock, based down in Somerset. Like other sort of southwest breweries, they are good. The likes of obviously Verdant are the one that comes to mind, but they are even their sort of southwest a bit. Bristol breweries like Arbor, Left-Handed Giant are good breweries, but I do think they're very good, and I think that I just want to drink more of them. So let's go for the scores, starting with aroma, appearance, flavour, value for money. This one was just about £5, maybe a bit less. So it's pretty good value for a New England IPA. And finally, my overall experience. Totting the scores up, we're right at the high level of a recommended. We're very close to getting into the highly recommended, but this is just a very good, solid beer. If you're thinking about drinking a beer like this or drinking a beer from the supermarket, this is 10 times better. It ain't 10 times more expensive. So consider that next time you buy a beer. Think about the fact that if you pay that little bit more, you're getting a much better beer. And this is a great beer. Quantock Brewery. Let me know in the comments what you think of Quantock. Have you had many? Or you are like me that you sort of don't see them that often to be able to try them. But definitely, if they released more beers and they were sort of they were in places like, some of your big sort of craft beer sort of online bottle shops, then I reckon they would be more popular than they are. But I don't think they're just under the radar, I think. But they're very good. So a great beer, total score. Yeah, definitely give them a try. Quantock, remember that name. And until the next one, give it a like. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. There's loads more reviews coming through. We've got those German beers that are coming in and out at the moment. I'm sort of layer them in the overall thing just to so I'm not overwhelming you with all those German beers. And I'm exhausted, but I'm going to enjoy this beer. And until the next one, drink a craft beer and keep on rocking.